Iowa rental laws outline the rules in the state regarding lease agreements and eviction. We'll review the laws for standard lease agreements, month-to-month lease agreements, and evictions. Standard lease agreement. A standard lease outlines the terms between a landlord and tenant for the renting of a property. A standard lease is commonly a one-year fixed period and is the most widely used rental contract. Month-to-month lease. A month-to-month lease is an agreement between a landlord and tenant that renews automatically every month. The agreement terminates upon notice by either party. In Iowa, the notice must be provided by the landlord or tenant a minimum of 30 days prior to termination as required by law. Required disclosures. In Iowa, the landlord is required to provide the following disclosures as part of the lease agreement. Identification. The landlord must provide tenants with the name and address of a person authorized to manage the property, whether it be a management company or the owner themselves. Shared utilities. If a tenant is required to pay a portion of a master utility, the landlord must share the rate at which the charges and services provided are billed to the tenant. Comprehensive environmental response, compensation, and liability information system. If the property is listed in this database, it must be clear to the tenant in the rental agreement. Landlord access. In Iowa, the landlord must give tenants a minimum of 24 hours notice before entering the property for repairs or any non-emergency reasons. Security deposit laws. In Iowa, the landlord can charge a maximum of 2 months security. After termination of the lease, the money must be returned within 30 days. Eviction laws. There are 3 legally accepted causes for eviction in Iowa. Non-payment of rent. If the tenant is late on rent, the landlord can issue a 3-day notice to pay or quit. This gives the tenant 3 days to pay the rent in full, along with any penalties, or vacate the property. If they do neither, the landlord may be forced to seek an eviction from the court. Clear and present danger. When the tenant themselves has engaged in dangerous behavior or activities that put people and property at risk, the landlord may issue a 3-day notice to quit. If the landlord is forced to seek an eviction from the court, there must be evidence of such conduct. Non-compliance. If the tenant breaks any portion of the lease other than rent, the landlord may give the tenant 7 days to either comply with the lease or vacate the property.